Well, greetings Doomers and other Indiana Jones fans. Back this month for a new video. This one's about getting Indy fit. To me, being fit is kind of part of cosplaying. You know, all the characters that we see in the films, they're always in good shape and big rippling muscles, and it's unrealistic for most people to look like a superhero. But Indiana Jones is kind of like a guy that you could get that level of fitness without, having to take steroids or anything like that. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom in particular, Harrison Ford was an absolute unit. I've always tried to get myself in that direction as far as my own fitness is concerned. I've been working out for many years, but as I get older, I find that my workouts need to change a little bit. And speaking of getting older, I just turned 50 2 weeks ago. And just by sheer coincidence, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom was screening at the Culver Theater. Well, I thought this was just too good to pass up, and I decided that this was what I was going to do for my birthday. I put an invite out and said, hey, anybody that wants to come see Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom with me on my 50th birthday, please come on out. And we had a nice showing of Indy fans. A lot of people in costume. My wife and I did the Club Obi-Wan scene get-ups. The Willie Scott dress is always a crowd pleaser. And it was just a really great time, and I'm so grateful for everybody that showed up and laughed and cheered with me as I watched my favorite movie on my 50th birthday. And I told people I didn't want any presents for my birthday, but some people didn't listen and brought me things anyway. And I have to say, this card from Andrew Newell of the Cali Crusaders was my favorite. Look at this. Look what he did. That's really cool. Thank you, Andrew. I will always cherish this. And now getting back to the fitness stuff. I'm not a fitness expert. I am not a fitness trainer. I am not certified or licensed in any way. All I'm going to show you is what it is that I do. Now, as far as workouts go, I do splits during the week. I do 2 upper body and 2 lower body, or arms and legs if you'd prefer the more gym bro vernacular. Basically, what I do with almost all my workouts is simply this. For any exercise that I do 3 sets between 8 and 10 reps of the max weight that I can do on that machine. I take a break of 1 minute between each set, and then I repeat until I've done it 3 times. Usually by that 3rd time, I'm pretty spent. If I find that I'm not spent and that I can do a little bit more, if I find myself going beyond the 10 and maybe pushing 11 or 12, that means it's time to go up. Whatever denomination of weight, if it's 5 pounds, if it's 2.5 pounds, if it's 10 pounds, go up to the next one. Also, I don't like to spend a lot of time in the gym. My workout, which usually involves about 7 exercises, usually takes me between 35 and 40 minutes to complete. I just think that if you're in there an hour, hour and a half, you're probably working your jaw muscle more than your body's muscles. I also like to work out quickly because it keeps your heart rate up and helps you burn more calories that way. Harrison Ford was his fittest in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Of course, he got trained by Body by Jake, and I'm sure he had personal chefs preparing all his meals for him. You and I don't have those luxuries, so we do the best we can. Obviously, Indy's arms, his upper body looked great in Temple of Doom, and some of these exercises will probably help you get that way as well. So let's go through my upper body workout, and hopefully you'll find this helpful. So at the beginning of my workouts, I always do my compound exercises first, and with the upper, you got to start with the king, baby, the chest press. You're going to be working out the triceps and your chest muscles. It's a great exercise to start out with. 3 sets of 10. And I know some women think that if they even pick up a dumbbell, they're going to get rippling muscles. It's really not going to happen without steroids. This workout is great for women too.
And there is my wife doing it and looking great. And when I work out, I work my muscle groups in pairs. So I go chest, back, and my first back exercise is usually a pull down of some sort. Again, 3 sets of 10. Once you can feel yourself pushing past the 10 to 11 or 12, it's time to go up in weight. Congrats, you've leveled up. And with the first back exercise done, it's back to chest. I usually switch to the pectoral fly. Again, 3 sets, 8 to 10, the max amount of weight that I can handle on the machine. 1 minute of rest in between each set. That's why it's great to work out with a partner, because then while they're up using the machine, you can rest. And then I switch back to another back exercise, and for this one I usually do a seated row, target the center of the back, 3 sets of 10. With exercises now, I always try to use machines. When I was younger, I used free weights. I just find machines are a little bit easier on my old joints and a little bit safer, so I don't injure myself quite so much. Okay, now that the compound exercises are done, you switch to some targeted exercises. First one up is the triceps. The tricep is engaged with your chest, so that's why I do the tricep after the row. Give the bicep a little bit to rest. And just remember, all the size in your arm actually comes from the tricep, not from the bicep, so don't skip the tricep exercises. Now, every dude's favorite exercise, the bicep curl. Every dude wants to have those huge biceps, so you go until you burn those things out. And women, don't be afraid of the bicep curl. You are not going to look like Hulk Hogan. Maybe if you do it long enough, you'll look like Linda Hamilton, which is a worthy goal. And finally, my last exercise for upper is shoulders. There's a bunch of different shoulder exercises. My favorite one is the lateral raise.
With this upper body workout, if anybody ever comes up to you and says, which way to Pankot Palace, you can look at them and say, this way. And though you may be tempted to skip it, Indy doesn't skip leg day, and neither should you. You never know when you're gonna need those legs to stop a minecart. So this is my lower body workout. Just like the upper body, I do some compound and some targeted exercises.
So the lower workout starts with another compound exercise, the seated leg press. I like to do this one instead of, say, the deadlift, just because I have herniated discs in my back and I'm always wary of doing anything that might upset them. The machines, just like with the upper, they tend to be a little safer, a little easier on the joints and other issues. After the seated leg press, I switch over to the seated leg curl to work the back of the thigh. And again, with all these exercises, 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps, 1 minute of rest in between. Once you feel you've mastered that weight, you move up to the next one. It's always progression. Next up is the seated leg extension. This one will work like the top of the thigh. You really feel a burn on this one, I found. It feels good to do this one. With the lower body workout, there's not quite so many muscle sets to work out. Your legs are not nearly as complicated as your torso and your arms. So it's a lot of just hitting these same muscles over and over. Next, I will do the hip adduction. Good muscle to work out if, like me, you are at a desk all day. These muscles can get really weak, so you definitely want to hit those when you go to the gym. And then after that, you'll want to hit the hip abduction so you can work that glute, get that big juicy booty. I also like to do the calf raise machine, which I did not get video for after this one. So that will be 6 exercises.
The one exercise that I can take or leave is anything having to do with abs, and that's for 2 reasons. One, a lot of the ab machines, I end up hurting my lower back, which I said is an issue for me. The other issue is a couple years ago, I had some weird injury having to do with my abdominal muscles, and I was out of the gym for a while. A lot of that had to do with COVID too, but this injury was enough that I was like, you know what? My abs are fine. At my age, at 50, I don't think I'm gonna have a rippling six-pack. It is very difficult for someone my age to lose enough body fat to have that rippling six-pack. Also, your abs kind of help with most of your other exercises, so while you're doing some of the other compound exercises, you're engaging your abs as well. It's not always necessary to target them specifically. But if you're gonna do abs, here's ones that I do every now and then.
Okay, so one of the ab exercises I will do is use this machine. I don't know what it's called, but every gym seems to have one. And I guess what I like about it is, since it's really putting all the work like on your shoulders and upper back, it's not messing with your lower back so much, which is what I am trying to avoid doing. And then an exercise that's super easy on your lower back is a plank, because you're not really doing anything. You're just holding yourself up and seeing how long your abs can hold you until you come collapsing down onto the mat. So no real danger of hurting your lower back here. Look at me go.
Now, I have to admit, I am not a big fan of treadmill and aerobic exercises like that. It really bores me to stand on a treadmill for half an hour or do a stationary bike or anything like that. I'm not a big fan of cardio. I kind of feel like if you don't enjoy doing something, don't do it, because if you don't enjoy it, you probably won't stay at it. And the most important thing with any exercise program is that you do it consistently. If you can develop the habit and keep doing it, 6 months down the road, you'll be wanting to do it every day. It'll just become part of your routine and you won't know how you lived without it. Another good thing to note is that working out and strengthening these muscles, you'll find that a lot of those little aches and pains that are bothering you throughout the day, they start going away, because a lot of those little aches are caused by a sedentary lifestyle. Your muscles get weak, they're more prone to injury, you hurt your back more. Working out 4 times a week or however much you can squeeze in, just overall will make it a little bit easier to age gracefully in life. Now, I haven't talked too much about weight loss, but I will tell you the secret to losing weight. Eat less calories. It's very simple. Your body has a caloric maintenance level. If you go above it, you gain weight. If you go below it, you will lose weight. Now, what your maintenance level is can be calculated. There's a lot of ways to figure it out. That's all there is to it. I should mention, once you start doing a weight training type of exercise where you're building muscles, you are gonna feel hungrier. Your body is gonna want food. And what are you gonna feed your body? Protein. Lean protein is the best way to build muscle. So we're talking chicken breast, salmon, tuna, egg whites. There's also protein sources out there if you are a vegetarian or a vegan. I'm not, so I don't know what those are. If you do need to have pizza, and I do every now and then, my body requires it, I try to do it just once a week. Try not to get too crazy about it. You want to avoid fatty proteins, like beef, things with too much sodium, like lunch meat. Fresher, leaner is the way you want to go. And protein fills you up, makes you less hungry, and less likely to snack, because it's the snacking that kills us. That's what causes us to gain weight. Those little bites here and there, they really add up. So that is my Indy Fit workout. I hope you found this video to be entertaining as well as maybe informational. There's a lot of other great YouTubers out there that actually are fitness trainers that know way more about this stuff than I do. And as far as indie cosplayers go, our very own Kirk Brockman, of course, he knows everything about fitness. Go check out his channel. He has workout videos on there as well. That's all for now. I wish you all much fortune and glory.